precariously close to the edge, that's all.
Welcome back everybody, it's Omar from Overlanding Omar. In this episode I'm going to be dealing with the plumbing and all the other bits and pieces that are involved in that, like water storage tanks, outlets, the sink, and mentioning the shower, the hot water system, that sort of thing. I'll also be updating you on all the stuff, all those little loose ends that never quite got round to either completing on camera, or I have lost some footage from the SIM cards which got destroyed. So hopefully that'll keep you more up to date with the build. All done, looking good. So we now have a hole straight to the sink. It's good to clean up, and then just deal with the steel, make sure it doesn't rust, and yeah, that's another job done. See, it's all under there. It's a bit dark in there, but you can see my pump and the actual accumulator to the right hand side, and the pipe.
All right, here we go. We're going up. Tilt.
Fun in that. Right, so what I'm thinking now, if you could take it that way, as soon as I'm clear here, I'll drop mine down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we turn.
And then we'll get it there, then we'll turn it through 90, and then we'll be able to control it.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Get it this far.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Right.
It'll be trial and error. Okay. I'll just probably need just to regroup. Oh yeah, that's okay. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Right, I'll start dropping. Okay, we're on the carpet. Right, okay, so just don't stand it up just yet. Just
push up towards me.
yeah, just hang on. That's it. That's it. We'll let it bring it down.
A bit more towards me, so a bit more in line.
You can go just jig. Okay. Okay. What I'll do is once we start moving this now,
Yeah.
I'm going to aim to get in there because I want to make sure that this doesn't end up on that bit of floor.
Right, so I'm going to lift up and turn there.
Yeah, so, and I'll pivot the bottom. Okay, stop there.
Yeah, just about to scratch that.
Yeah. I'm just going to just have to, because I'm stuck between rock and a fucking carpet. Right.
I've got a bit of room this way.
Okay, so bring it towards me. Is that okay?
Yeah, twist it more.
Okay, stop there. Just. Oh, okay.
So we need to come my way. That carpet there's okay.
It's alright, it'll slide on, it'll just bend it.
So what we need to do now is just literally lift up.
Lift up. Just go to you a bit more.
Maybe if we tilt it slightly now just to get it started, because I
Just-
won't be able
yeah.
to hold it once it hits there.
I'll go in here.
So we're going to slightly tilt
Slightly
it and get it
tilt it to
started
me.
on.
And I'll have my head on this part, and I'll try and what I can to lift at the bottom.
Yeah, and I'll try and lift here if I can. I'm going to go like this. Alright.
So,
This one.
it's going to be a fucking... Hold on, let me think about this one. I've got to... How am I going to get a better purchase on that? I'm not...
I think perhaps it'd be better if you were there and kneel down so I can
And
push
push
up
it on,
while I
yeah,
pull up as
yeah.
well. If I can. But I've got no grip.
I've got very little, but we'll see how we do. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, I just hold it there, let me get my hand out. You okay?
Yeah, I just want to get a bit further so we can get the wheels on, because the wheels are not being so tilted. You can go in the shower area now, perhaps, and do it.
Okay, lift it up then. That's it. That's it.
Now we're on the wheels.
Yeah. How's the top?
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Just see if I can get some- not too much around it.
I can't see the top, so right. So we now just need to pop that.
Well done, mate.
Oh man.
That's like a very thought. Yeah,
Don't say
I was at one point thinking it's not even going to get in here.
Don't say.
I'm about to take the panel off that hides the isotherm inside or under the bed between the battery cradle that you've seen me make and the Victron, all the Victron gear that's on this side. So this is where it is. This gives you a sort of an overview of where it is. So the fridge is there, the bed area, shower area, floor, pump and pipes. Isotherm. It's a marine hot water tank, 25 litres. It's a slimline one, so it would sit in a very narrow gap. I've designed it so that, if you remember when I built this aluminium cradle, it has a panel here that's removable, panel there that's removable. This one is fixed because those 3 bolts are the bolts that hold the Victron inverter in place. The actual tank is bolted to this platform, which is 12mm marine ply with 2-back paint. And what you'll see is this down here. I'm going to bring the light down. There is the inlet and outlet. This is the either way for the engine heating, so from the coolant of the engine, that's one of the inlets or outlets, and there's the other one down there, so that's the circuit. Next to that one down there is the pressure relief system for the cold water inlet. It has a relief system through there as well, not sure why, which is adjusted with that dial there. Coming off that, there is a relief valve also, which you can use a handle to test it with, and that's the black pipe that goes down through the floor to the outside under the truck. This side is the hot water outlet. Again, that's adjusted via a valve here to regulate the temperature and get it to where you want it. And that's basically it. So you've got cold water feed coming in with a non-return valve, so it can only go that way if you look at the arrows. And it comes in, goes through into there from the bottom, percolates through, and then comes back out through here. And that's pretty much the isotherm system. So if you can, just to give you orientation, my batteries are all there, and my Victron gear is all that way, and that's pretty much it. So these are the nut certs you saw me putting in a few episodes back when I built the cradle. Now I'm just going to put the actual lid back on, but before I do that, I'll just show that these 2 panels are separate for the bed. So this can come off, that can come off. I've got complete access to everything underneath if ever I need to, which is a possibility, you never know. So I'm just going to put this back on, and I won't bore you with me bolting it all down, but that's pretty much what it does. It goes on there and it gets bolted in. Alright, and this compartment is where the sink outlet comes through. As you can see, oh, it's a bit cramped in here, excuse me. But there you go, so there's the 2 water feeds, cold and hot, and then there's the downpipe for the sink waste in this particular compartment. I'll probably put a board or something there just to stop it from getting bashed by stuff, because I'm already putting stuff in here, like I've still got to install a Scirocco fan and bits and bobs, the latch for the actual door and stuff like that. So for now it's fine, so that's that. Now under here, I don't know if we can see it from here, now we'll have to go around the other way, is where the water ends up going, the wastewater goes up into the holding tank underneath. But for now I'm just going to show you the inside. So on the inside, a bit dark in here. Let's get my lights on. There we go, a bit more light. So obviously in here it pops up through the bottom there, because remember that's storage under there. It comes up through here. Just a normal P-trap type sink affair. I've got both the water feeds connected to a stop valve there, just in case we need to service the tap up here. And we've got plenty of nice fresh water, hot and cold. I'll see the hot's not on because I haven't driven the truck for a while. And you probably just caught that pump actually going on. But I can actually take the fuse out. In fact, I'm going to do that now. Take the fuse out because I don't like leaving it while I'm working on the truck without me being in it, just in case. You never know, there might be a leak and the pump will just go on and on and on and empty the tank, because the tank underneath is probably not far off full. It's got about 150 litres at least. Between them probably about 200. So I'm just going to pull, I think it's this orange one. If we do that, the little red light comes on like that. I'll just put the fuse down here. And now I can run the water, but you won't hear the pump going because the pressure in the little accumulator is quite enough. Yeah. So I'm running it for a while and you can't hear the pump. And I think that's a good safety measure until I get to a point where I can put a switch. I'll probably put a switch somewhere here to turn it off as I leave the camper. I think it's good practice. And then when you come in, just flick it on, because if you're in the camper and something happens or near the camper, you can get to it quickly enough, or at least investigate why the pump's going off for no reason other than obviously switching a tap. So underneath here is the pump and the accumulator, as you can see, and the pipes run through this floor and come out. Let's use my screwdriver as the magnetic holder. There we go. So there's the pipes going through. I meant to mention, that was the other thing I did, is I put rare earth magnets on every one of these doors to use to open them up. And the idea is there's a little bit of security. There's another one there. So you can't just get into them unless you really want to rip your nails to pieces, or you've got a flat blade screwdriver, but you can if you've got the magnet. And I'll have another rare earth magnet, not just a piece of steel, so it'll be doubly strong to open up the hidden compartments. I've already got a couple of boxes and stuff in there, but you can see the plumbing going through into the sink area and coming up through there, and that's that compartment. Oops, on my foot. That's the other one. Oh, sorry, I'm not an alcoholic, I promise. Some beer, baked beans, and olive oil spray. The other upgrade, of course, is the beautiful fridge. Look at this. It's a normal household fridge. Reasonable quality, inverter compressor. And I've already stocked it with stuff just to test how well it keeps it cold, and that's actually lovely and cool in there. It's quite a big fridge, lots of space. I'm standing next to it, so if you can imagine, I'm standing on the floor, so it's a little bit above my head, but I prefer a fridge that you don't have to actually bend down to get stuff other than like the freezer compartment. So the fridge is an upside down fridge. So fridge on the top, freezer at the bottom, which is how I like them. And the bottom half is there. So lots of freezer. And again, if you look at where I'm standing, it's sort of against my waist. I don't know if I can see that on the camera. And what I've done is I have, and I'll do a separate video on this one, perhaps might be useful for someone, but I've made these two stainless steel catches that actually use the original mounting plate holes to hold them, and they're like a safety thing. So when I close this, I literally, well, do you know what, I'll show you another time because I want to show you the plumbing right now. So that's the sink, that's the plumbing. Under here is the hatch for the isotherm, which I've got some footage for, but there you go. You see where the bolts are. That panel comes off and the tank is under there. All right, let's go to the outside and show you the other bits and pieces. Let's turn the lights off first. Yes, I must think of how I want these lights to go. Make it look decent. Let's go out the door. Side of the truck has, this is my mains water inlet. So if I ever want to plug in from my hose pipe or a campsite mains water, that's what this is. And this doesn't go through my filtration system. It bypasses it and then just connects to the main water system in the tank, in the camp box, rather, habitation box. This one here, which is just a normal garden type brass triple into one. So that would normally be connected to your tap, but this is my inlet to fill up the tank. So this is tank number 1, which will be the tank that sits in here. You can just see him there. That's 150 litres. I haven't plumbed him in. The reason why I want more than water tank inside is if it gets to a point where it's really cold anywhere, which I doubt because it's Australia, there's going to be water that's still not frozen, basically, because the other 2 tanks are outside. If you haven't watched that video of me installing the tanks between the chassis rails, I'll put a link somewhere up. I think it's on this side, if I remember. But this is the 3-way connector, so each one of these taps switches it on and off. I plug in, it's just a normal hose pipe connector. I've put a little cap on this one. You can get prop ones, but I still yet to find some. So that one goes to the one inside, which I haven't plumbed in. This one just goes to the first tank between the chassis rails, and this one goes to the second tank between the chassis rails. First tank is 150 litres, second one is 135. So between the two, there's at least 280-ish, let's call it, and the one inside is another 150. So we're going to get close to, what's that, 380 plus 50. So we're talking 400 and something, at least nearly 450 litres. That then is that, but under here you will see, apart from all the other pipes, this pipe here is the water inlet from the tanks, this pale blue one. The dark blue one, just behind that wiring, these are the tank sensor wires, by the way. That blue one is the cold water inlet from the mains that I told you about, so connecting up to a hose pipe or something like that. These 2 that are protected are the engine coolant pipes that warm up the isotherm tank inside, and that last one there is the overflow or overpressure for the isotherm. So if it ever gets overheated and it needs to let off some steam, basically, that's what that's for, and that drains to the floor. All right, so that's that bit. Coming down here between the tanks, I have got, so this is the 150 litre tank here, the bottom corner of it. And again, there's a video of me making these frames to support it all. So all this fabricated stuff is here. That's on a video. I might even link that one. And the other tank is over there. So I have an outlet. Let's go underneath the other. So you got an outlet from this tank that loops through, and this is a drain valve. So basically it's the lowest point. And then this is the lowest point that links the 2 tanks. So from here I've teed off, and this is what goes up into my water filters inside the box, where that cradle is near the isotherm tank. This tank has got its own shut-off valve, this tank has got its own shutter fob. So if there's, so this one is actually closed. I'm not sure why I've closed it, but it is. This one is actually open. So I'm using water from the rear tank, the 135 litre tank. And above both of these, there's a T there. And if you look very carefully right there, is the sensor for the water tank level. And there's another one, if I spin round, a bit awkward under here, there's another one that's under, which is right there. I don't know if I can see that. So there's that one there. So that one and the one here both go up through the floor. They're not connected to Servo GX yet, but they will be. So that's what it looks like from underneath. And each one of these tanks, I have a good view of one here, has the water fill coming through there and the water vent coming through here. So that's where the tank will vent. It just comes through this pipe. I am going to make some sort of gauze that fits on here to stop any bugs crawling up through it, just to make sure we don't get any contaminants. So that's how that works. So we've got an in and an out. It'll be the same for this tank here. This will have the same. And basically that's how that works. So I'm going to now crawl out of under here and show you the waste system. So the holding tank, which this has been a lot of hard work. But we now have a system that works and drains. So it means we're getting closer to being able to go somewhere, which is gonna be fan-dabby-dozy. So let's go and have a look under here. So as you know, it comes out the sink straight through the floor. You've seen the footage, and what it does is I have to crawl under again. It comes down through this floor right above me there, right there. There's the platform. Comes down here, normal 40mm waste pipe, a household waste pipe. I'm just trying to sit myself up so I can show you. Ooh. And it basically links up to flexible pipe there with a big hand tighten nut, and drops into one of the inlets of the tank. So I can't really see it, but the camera can. So that's one of the inlets. There's another one further forward. I don't know if I can show you that there. Is that it there? There it is. So that one will be for the shower. So they'll be linked. I can't remember where I'm going to link it to, but that's how that works. So one goes through there for the shower, and one goes through there for the sink. There's a bit of a loop because you don't want to kink these pipes and pinch them. So that's the sink. Yes, I'm still here. And now I'm just going to show, there's one of the vents. That's my waste tank there. That's my last veggie oil tank. That's a 100-litre veggie oil tank. There's the vent for this tank, and the inlet is up there for this rear tank, the big 135-litre tank. This one is the vent for the grey water tank there. And you can just see the bit of that ribbed wastewater pipe up there that's linked to the 40mm wastewater PVC pipe. And then under here you'll see the rest of that tank. So it runs from there to there. There's the other veggie tank, and then I've linked it with this coupling here. This is 1 inch 25mm, so nice and big. And I've also put an electric valve there, so I can actually, when I wire it, I can release the grey water electronically from up above with a switch, or I can just do it manually because it's got a manual override from out here, which will show. It's the same ones I've used for the veggie oil transfer lines. So So as you can see, there's the tank, there's the valve, and I can open and close the valve manually with this. This can be pushed in like that or lifted up and used in case there's a power failure. And then it just comes through here and out through a cam lock system, and I've got a 5-meter pipe, ribbed pipe, just like you saw. There's a bit of water now because of us playing with the sink. There we go, that's the wastewater coming out. Obviously I can shut the valve off and that won't happen, and just put this little stopper back in, lock it all up, and that's the wastewater. And next to the wastewater is the veggie oil tank, the other one. That's pretty much it, guys. Let's let's go traveling.